Hey, what's going on, YouTube? My name's Kyle. This is my first video, and I'm just gonna jump right into it. I'm not really gonna do like an alphabetical thing yet, or a new pickups thing yet. I'm just gonna show you the things I've been listening to. In the background right now, I've put on Demolic, Emptiness of Vanishing, Vanishing of Emptiness. Sfart put this out. It's good. It's got demos. The Four Indestructive Tales of Decomposition, Somewhere Inside the Bowels of Endlessness, Vanishing of Emptiness, and wait, no. The Echo. Anyway, it's good. I don't have the big one by this band. The name of it's escaping me now. I've heard it. It's great. This was all I could get at the time that I was looking for that stuff. And for the amount of times I listened to Demolic, this is great. Like, it's great. It's got some new stuff on it too. If I come across that new album, I'll probably get it one day. But as for stuff I've just been listening to and loving, Bolt Thrower. What can I say about Bolt Thrower that hasn't been said? I think a lot of guys have been talking about him recently. I saw Eric Bauer pull this record out recently. It's awesome stuff. I've been on a death metal kick. I feel like I'm really starting to understand death metal now. I've been a black metal fan for 20 years, and I've obviously picked up death metal releases too. But I'm just getting it, I think, and like, I'm still learning. I'm still learning with death metal for sure. Black metal I can talk a lot about, like a lot more about, but I'll show you here. This record I've had for a long time. Well, not a long time. About a year and a half. That's not long, really. It's been out forever. But I picked this up and I listened to it and I thought it was good. I thought it sounded like a classic. I thought the guitar tone was there. It's interesting. But I wasn't in the mood for it. And now I'm in the mood for it, and this is kicking my ass. And I can understand it a little better. I see the punk leanings. Awesome album art, obviously. This is one of the covers that I've recently really appreciated. Looking down that corridor, awesome. The floating ghosts coming out of the mist with the skulls, and this is just an awesome cover. I love the imagery. I love these pictures with the trees, and it's just perfect. It's timeless, really. This is an amazing record. And right with this, I've been listening to Morbid Angel. Been really liking that. And been really listening to some of this stuff. Immolation. This record is killing me. The brutal death metal. I've never understood it like this, or this band is just blowing my mind. Because the riffs on this thing, and the way he sings to the riffs, it's like the riffs are 4 times as long as they should be. They're massive riffs. And this record is massive. I've only really listened to maybe 4 Immolation records. I think I should have hopped on their last one when it was around. I haven't seen it much recently because I've heard it's amazing. But I have a few of them on vinyl and I have a few of them on CD. And that band right now for me is something else. I still haven't really like dived into Incantation during this binge. I have a few of theirs, and I think I need to listen to them now as well. Let's see here. A record. Okay, so I kind of have to tell a story from last night, or what I was in the mood for. And I've been listening to all this stuff, and I was listening to with my partner, my basically my wife, my girlfriend. We haven't been married, but anyway, we live together, and she's not a fan of metal like me. She puts up with it pretty much, but she likes it too. Good music is good music. And yesterday I felt like putting on not Blackwater Park, My Arms Your Hearse. I don't have a copy of it anymore. I fell out of Opeth a long time ago. I'm sure a lot of people have. But that record still holds a special place for me. I think same with Orchid, but Your Arms, My Hearse, or whatever it's called. That record is awesome. I love the piano that starts it with the rain. And that's what I felt like listening to last night. All of a sudden I had an urge to listen to that. And I don't have any Opeth anymore. I don't think so. Maybe in my CDs, but I don't think so. So anyway, I was in Florida 2 years ago for my sister's wedding, and I bought this. Because this is another record that I've always loved. Not always, actually. I haven't felt this record. I haven't even listened to it since I bought it. I just wanted this record. I've even considered getting rid of it in that time, in the past couple of years, but I'm glad I haven't. Because last night, it tickled that itch for the proggier, I don't know, more atmospheric kind of, well, I wouldn't even say more atmospheric, but the proggier, I guess, thing that I was looking for within the Opeth stuff. And this is a great record if you're in the mood for it. You have to be in the mood for it. The vocals, I don't think, are great. They're hollow when they're screamed, and when they're sung, they're not my favorite. It's okay, but it's a cool record. It's jazzy. This is Ice On from Emperor, by the way. His album after. I think it's his third record. I think it might be the end of a trilogy. I never really got into much else by this band. I've heard it here and there, and I think it's cool, but again, I didn't pursue it. This is probably the only one I bought when I was younger, and I liked it. I've always liked it. Again, not always, but yeah, it's a cool record, and it worked for me last night. Something else I've been meaning. I don't think this record gets talked about right yet. Mayhem. Demon. I say Demon. I think this record's fucking awesome. I don't think it's necessarily De Mysterious Part 2. It has, I think, in certain songs, like Bad Blood especially, it's got like a punk leaning a little bit. It's a weird thing to say. It's way better than their last record. Their last record was my least favorite. This era of Mayhem is my least favorite. I thought the Blasphemer years, everything, Grand Declaration of War, right up to Or Decao, those records were all trying to do something else. And even the one before this one was trying to do something else, something weird. This record isn't necessarily trying to be weird. It's the most normal I think Mayhem's ever been, which is kind of a sour thing to say, because I like the progressive leanings of Mayhem, always have. All those records before the new lineup with Telok and Ghoul are special to me. But this record sounds fucking awesome and rules. Like, the riffs on it sometimes just hit you in the stomach. It's awesome. I like this record a lot. But I don't think it's as innovative. It's probably the least innovative they've ever been. So it's kind of like a... I forget what you call that. Like, it's amazing, but it leaves a little bit of a sour taste. I was gonna go see these guys actually tonight in Toronto with a bath, and that sucks to think about. I hope they reschedule that tour. I hope everyone's doing well. That's first and foremost, right? So it's all good. Everyone's seen this record, I think. It's just black. It's cool. I like the. I really like this actually. I think that looks awesome. This is cool, but it's a little cheese too. It's cool. Okay, what else? Okay, here's the last record I got in the mail. And it's a record that I had never really listened to, and I kind of wanted to leave it for when it came in the mail. I think it's a wicked record. Thorns. Just called Thorns. It's an awesome record. I've never owned anything by this guy. Snore Rush. I think he's an interesting character in the scene. I've never heard those demo tapes. I would like to. I'm sure I can if I took the initiative. Yeah, what can I say about this record? It's industrial metal, obviously. It doesn't hit me as hard as I thought it was going to. As I was listening to bits and pieces of that album in anticipation for getting it, like I wouldn't listen to the whole thing. I would just wait. It's really good, but it's really churny, and I don't think I've digested it fully. Like I could probably come to you in a year and tell you better thoughts on that record. But some of it's a little slow, and the parts that are fast are awesome. I don't know. I think it's a great record. I'm just telling you the things that kind of disappointed me about it. And I think that happens with every record, or else we wouldn't be searching for new records. So, fantastic stuff. Love it. I have 2 records coming in the mail now. And I know I shouldn't be ordering stuff at this time, and I'm going to try and stop. I'm going to stop. Okay. This is one. I've had this out past couple days, and I've always liked this record. And I always liked this band. This is one of my favorite bands that keeps me purely I don't know. I want to say uninterested, but that's not true. I'm totally interested, but this band can put me to sleep. And that's Abruptum. But they're one of my favorite bands because the atmosphere that they bring is exactly what you want in metal. I mean, unless you want, just heaviness, and that's where I think thrash comes in, and I think that's really good. Thrash and death metal. But mostly thrash, I think. Death metal, I think, as I was saying before, is taking me to different places. But, warning, Abruptum does not take responsibility for any actions made under the influence of this album. Remember that Abruptum is the audial essence of pure black evil, and listen to it at your own risk. How awesome is that? This is the 4th record. Which one is this? I can't even say it. Visones Veris Nigre Maltias. Anyway, I think of this one as the one where only it was on it. It was Tony Sacra. He did Vondur. I think he was in Ophalamia. Yeah. He's one of my favorite black metal artists ever because he was always pushing it. He pushed it beyond what black metal guys wanted it to be. And I think that's really cool. Especially in Vondur. Vondur was kind of like a parody black metal band that I don't really get because I think that a lot of it is really just black metal. It's good. Really good stuff. I even have him. I'll show you. On my wall. I don't know how. Shit, I'm not getting it. Ah. There. There it is. It's framed. That guy is cool. And that's the only record he did by himself. Because he passed away. I think he committed suicide. But anyway, the other records were with one of the guys from Marduk. I want to say it was Morgan, but I'm not sure. They went by Evil and It. I'd have to look it up. But one of my favorite bands, honestly. Abruptum, so cool. So cool. Although sometimes hard to listen to, I will say that. And what else do I got? I think that's it. That's all I got for right now. That's what I've been listening to recently. I've been on a death metal kick. I've been reading, bits and pieces. I like having this around. It's a great book. It's fun. The record's stopped now too. This one's pretty good too, but it's more about Napalm Death and Carcass, and it mentions other bands. But this book is really good for listening to or reading about Entombed and stuff like that as I'm listening to those records. It's really cool. Anyway, I guess that's my first video, and hopefully you enjoyed it, and there'll be more. Okay, have a good night. Have a good day.